Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. We're doing Christmas again, and I've got these gorgeous penguins, and they're that sort of emperor penguin with a really long sort of beak in there. I really love the look of these ones. They are from AALL Create. They are designed by Tracy Evans, and they're called Penguin, and they're number 604. So really lovely. You can get them throughout the world, so you know, if you're interested in them, they are current ones. Just love them. And I thought I might use this little one from here, which is number 531, and that is textured florals, but I quite like that, and I might use part of that as part of the background. So let's get going. I have already masked off a piece of 5.5 by 5.5 square cardstock. You can use whatever size you want. This happens to be the size that I'm going to use purely because I have got some square card bases, and I've chosen 4 different colours of blue because I thought penguins, blue, icy, but Christmas. So I've got Pool Party, I've got Coastal Cabana, and I've got Bermuda Bay, which are 4 different shades of blue. Use whatever colours you've got. These just happen to be the inks that I have, so I'm going to use them, and I'm using a blending brush, and I'm going to take it in from the corner and just bring it up. Now, in looking at this, actually I might use the darker one first for the corners, because the pale blue is quite pale. So let's use the dark blue first of all and take it up from the corner. Yes, you can see how that is giving a really nice blue look. Now, what I tend to do, as you know, is I'll start in the corner and then build my way across, because then you're not using too much colour and it just gives that really nice sort of look. So that's coming from the corner, and then this is going to come out. Okay, so that's the darkest, which is the Bermuda Bay. Then I'm going to go into Coastal Cabana, which is a slightly paler blue. And again, I'm taking it from the corner and then just bringing it across. So from the corner and then just bringing it across. So we're building up this colour as we go. Because as I say, you know, I don't always like doing traditional red and green for Christmas. I do if I'm trying to do something where it's totally not a Christmas stamp, to try and turn it in, which as you know, I've done a few, but I do quite like blue. So this is the paler Pool Party, but they all will just blend through quite nicely. Like that in the blue. Now what I might just do, because it's very blue, is tone it down just a tad. I'm just going to put these back up here and hopefully not knock the camera. And I'm going to take just a little bit of, whoa, always say I'm not going to knock the camera, and I always end up crashing it on the camera somewhere. This is a smoky slate, so it's slightly, use a different brush on this, it's got a slightly little bit of sort of grey on it, and I'm just going to do just a few little bits in on here to just sort of tone it down a little bit. Can you see how that's just toning it down a tad? Not a lot, just a little bit. So I can take it in off the edge, just take it up on here, and it's just toning down that blue just a little bit, which I think it just makes a little bit of a difference on there. So I like that. And the reason that I'm doing that is that because I am wanting to do this background, so this is me putting that back up here, I said I wanted to use this to take in on the background, and I think that that will just work. It's not a Christmassy one. In fact, looking at it, it says gooseberry and various other plants, but I think by the time we've got the other bits on it, you're not going to notice. And I quite like circles, so I thought that this, as say, might just work quite well. So let's take that one out, find a little block to put it on, put it on this one. I still need to clean this off. In fact, I'm going to clean it off now. I was using it for colours the other day, and I always tend to use a block, and it's very nice, but I don't need it on there now. So there we go. And I've got, as you know, I've got a cloth, which is a microfiber cloth, and I actually keep it in a clear plastic bag when I'm working, because then it keeps it moist, because the last thing you want is for your cloth to dry out and then you've got you know, nothing to sort of clean up on. Okay, so we're going to take this, and I'm just going to pop it in on here like that, and I just want to then do the background, and I'm going to do it in, I've got some grey here, so this is the Versifying Clair, and it's in, if I can get it out, why is it stuck? There we go. It's the Versifying Clair, and it's the Morning Mist, which is quite a nice pale grey, and I think that that will work with this. So I'm just going to dab this up, and I'm going to take it sort of on and off. That's quite nice, actually. Take another one down in on this corner, which I quite like. I'm trying to think whether I want it right the way across and do the whole of the background. I don't think so. I think I just want those two like that, because I think that that will work quite nicely. But I do want some other bits in on here. I am going to do cross in on the corner. I'm going to take this so that it's a little bit paler like that. Do quite like that. Do I want one in the centre or not? No, I don't. I just want it at the sides. What I can do though is to just give a little bit of this coming in on here. Be careful, it slides a bit on the paper, so I'm just going to take a little bit on there, a little bit on there, and a little bit on there like that. I think that'll work. So I don't want it overly coloured in. Now I quite like, we've got brr because it's cold. I quite like that, so I think I'm going to put some of those in as a background word, and then we can have the other bits over the top. So let me take this one out. So we've got this brr, which means it's cold and icy and snowy. And again, I think that these make great Christmas cards for, you know, people who are looking for something that's a little bit alternative. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You have quite a lot of, I'm going to put it this way actually, you have quite a lot of, oh, I've put hugs on, can't even read what I'm saying. I want hugs in on there. I just want the brr. It's quite nice for, sometimes people don't want religious Christmas cards, because there's, you know, people of all different faiths and things, and not everybody celebrates Christmas as Christmas, but they like the holiday season. So I think it's quite fun to do lots of different things. So I'm going to put this burr is just going to sort of go, says me, I've got it upside down, haven't I? Never mind, let's see if I can just get that in on there like that. That'll work. I'm just going to take it up so it comes up the right way. It does help if I get it. Probably can't see what I'm doing off a screen. Right, that's fine. So I'm just going to take some, that's back to front again. What is wrong with me? Right, I'm going to do this off. I keep putting it upside down and I don't, then I've got it on the wrong bit of the block. So let me take that off from there a minute. You know, sometimes when you start something and you think, I don't know quite what I'm doing. Okay, so this has got to be that way. That's better. Okay, so I want a burr on there. That's coming up better. One on there. Take one probably in on this way like that. I'll take one up in the corner like that. Quite like just having the words dotted about. I think that looks quite good, and I'm avoiding the center part because that's where we're going to be putting, if I can find it, there it is, we're going to be putting the penguins like that in on here. So I don't think I need, I don't know, I might need one in the center, mightn't I, to just balance it all up. So let's pop this one in the center. I'll have this in like that, upside down now, but that doesn't matter. And then I think I'm just going to do that way and that way. So we've got the different bits in there. So I've got it sort of, it's a background. It's not meant to be, it doesn't matter if it's the right way or the wrong way or whatever. And I think as well, just before I've finished, I'm going to do just a little bit of, no, I'll do it when I've actually finished the whole thing. Now, this is the bit where I've got to try and make sure that I get, take this all up first. You know me, I absolutely struggle like mad with these they always tear, but maybe not this time, maybe not. I've de-tacked it as much as I can. I'm going back on myself, so hopefully that's one. I was saving them, but it seemed to make no difference whatsoever. So it's one of those things when you have this de-tacky stuff, just make sure that you try and de-tack it as much as you can. I think some of this is probably, I can never tell, it always seems to stick to the paper a bit, but I'm just getting used to that now. So hopefully, yeah, you see, look, this is just ripping away like a rippy thing. I do hate these non-stick things. If anybody has any suggestions of non-stick paper which really is non-stick, I'd love to hear, because without fail, every single one that I've bought, even though I've de-tacked it as much as I possibly can, it always seems to rip, even though I do it back on itself, take all the tips and things that people say. There we are, we're ripping again. It just is so frustrating, and I haven't got a mask that's that big to do on these squares. You see, there we are. So I've got 2 ripped pieces, but never mind. We'll just have to see if we can stick them down. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue and just stick them down first. But I do love that white border. It makes such a difference, but it is incredibly frustrating when you have these pieces and they just pull up. I've got another little one on here. And it doesn't matter how careful I'm being, as you can see, I'm as careful as I possibly can. It just seems to make no difference whatsoever. So anyway, I'm just taking it down. And I think that if you glue it sort of straight away before the paper's had a chance to sort of move up and down, then it does make a bit of, you know, it does help a bit. But as I say, if anybody knows of any really good non-stick tape, then do let me know, because as I say, I've yet to find some. So anyway, that's our card base, which I think is lovely, looks quite Christmassy and what have you. So now we need to do our penguins. So I'm going to do the penguins on just a piece of, let me see if I've got a piece of just a little bit of white card. Sorry, I'm looking for some white card now, which I should have in here somewhere. I did have quite a few pieces. I think that's cut to be another size, isn't it? I just want a scrap piece on here. Here we go. Right. Okay, so that can go out of the way for a minute. I think that looks really pretty. And then we're going to take our penguins. So these lovely penguins, I'm going to put on this size of block. Let me move this one out the way for now. So we'll have the big penguin and have the small penguin. Will he fit on there? I think he probably will. Will he fit that way? No, I need to put him on. Put him on this one. That's our burr. Don't fit on that one either. We'll put him on this one. Okay, so that's our penguin. He's got to be in black because obviously penguins are black. I've got a broken pad. I went and did a card making class that I was invited to do at the local WI, and unfortunately it ended up getting broken anyway, but it doesn't matter. It'll work for now, and then I've got another one that I can use. So right, that's going to come in like that on there. Press down firmly. Leave it to just rest for a second. In fact, while that's on there resting, it needs to absorb to the paper. I'm going to take the smaller one and I'm going to put the smaller one on this one on here like that. So let's see how that one goes. Beautiful, look at that, love that. So let's take the other one and give that a ink up in the black. So yes, I have to use it at the edge now because it's lost its broken bit. Will he fit down in on here? Yes, he will. Then I'm not wasting paper. Like that. And then I think I'm just going to have, I quite like the word cool, because I think that's, it's funny, I always use this word. I always say to people, oh, cool, 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 cool. It's that old 60s, 70s saying, isn't it? And it's funny because my boys both turn around and use the word cool. So I'm going to just pop that up in on, let's take that up at the top. Like that, perfect. Is that supposed to have it? Yes, it was supposed to have a little what's it at the end. Okay, so that's those ones. While they just dry off for a second, I'm just going to clean my pad. So yes, I've tried to stop using wet wipes and things, because they're not particularly good for the planet. And as you know, I'm trying not to buy as many things. Says me, having bought quite a lot of these AALL Create Tracy Evans stamps, but I got them when they were in the sale, to try and save myself some pennies, which, as I say, it did. It was amazing. And I like using different things, and I think that these to me are just great fun. I think they are just lovely, and they're the sort of thing that, say, you can use on any sort of card you want. I think, you know, for Christmas time, absolutely perfect. Okay, so we now have this like this, which is perfect, and then I just need to do I use these scissors? I think these scissors will be all right. So all I want to do is to just very carefully sort of fussy cut them out. Easy shape to do, so they're not that difficult. And I can turn around and do them. So how are you all getting ready for Christmas? Are you getting ready for Christmas now? Are you? What do you all do for Christmas? Do you have your Christmas with family? I tend to have, as I think I've said before, I have Christmas Day with one son and family and my grandchildren, and then the following day I have with my other son and family, which is lovely. So I'm very lucky. I have 2 sons, 2 daughter-in-laws and 6 grandchildren. So it's really lovely. It's and I love Christmas. For me, it's a lovely time of getting together with the family, eating delicious food, playing games, and you know, thoroughly enjoying the holiday season. So it would be nice to hear from you on what you all do and how you celebrate. I know I've got, don't know whether we'll have snow for Christmas this year. Very rarely have snow in the southeast of England for Christmas. But we've had a very, very mild autumn. And now it's sort of turned colder and into the, you know, the wintry sort of months coming up. But it'll be interesting to see if we get snow for Christmas. Hopefully not too much, but I'm very lucky that I can walk up to one of my sons, because they only live about a half an hour's walk, and the other one only lives about 10-15 minutes away. So they're both really near, and I know that if I really struggled, that they would come and fetch me in their cars, because they're far better drivers in difficult conditions. I don't like driving in nasty conditions, so I tend to not do it. But hopefully, as I say, we'll have another mild Christmas. But as I say, you can never really tell. And I know when I say mild Christmas and snow, compared to some of you in Canada and America, you know, you have feet and feet of snow, but then you have the roads geared with ploughs and things that sort it all out, and then you don't get terrible conditions, whereas we don't have anything like that. We have a bit of gritting going on, and that's about it, so that, you know, the roads grind to a halt. I live on a hill, and literally if we have a couple of inches of snow, my road is impassable, because it's a cul-de-sac, never gets done for, oh, I don't know, until the snow's melted. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in on here. Obviously, being penguins, they don't need to be, what do you call it, painted or anything. They can just be that colour. I think that's really lovely. I'm enjoying this. So I'm going to put this one, and I'm going to have the cool, I think, just in on here like that. Don't want to have anything too much more on it. I want it to be fairly sort of, you know, simple but pretty. And then what I do want to do is I'm going to do some white splatters, because the white splatters will give it that sort of snow look. So let's pop this one in here. I think he's lovely. I really like this one. So we'll have him like that. We'll have him next door. I use wet glue, as you know, because I like to have that sort of what they call wiggle room. It means that you can put it down sort of where you want and just position it. I think he's going to come just about there, like that. And then we'll have the cool in on here, because I will add the Posca pen round it afterwards. Now, I know some people do it before they put it on, but I like to have it so I can just add the little bits in afterwards. So I want to have white on the Poscas and white, and then I want to have the little black, thinner black. They do different sizes, so this is one of the thin ones. Give it a shake. You can hear the ball bearing going, and then all I'm going to do is to just take line along the bottom. And the reason that I do it when it's actually on, because I like to have the border round the side, and it looks neater for me when they come round like that. And if you do it so that you're running it that way, then you don't ever have any problems. Okay, so I now want to do some white splatters. So I'm going to do the thin one first, and I tend to we need to just press the nib a little bit so that it's coming out, and then I need to take something which is quite sort of hard to just knock on it. I could use the back of the pen, so I could use that, or I could use, no, I'm going to use this because I don't want to jiggle up the insides of that too much. So you can see the, hopefully you can see the little splatters coming out. I want more on the white than I do on the other bits, but you can see it sort of coming out. That's coming out quite nicely. There we go. Okay, so those are my little white splatters on there. Now I could do some bigger ones if I wanted to. Don't know, I might, and again I just need to press it once so it starts coming out, and then these are bigger ones. There we go. Don't want too big ones. Now I know some people will splat them like that, but I find that I tend to get really huge big lumps, and I don't like huge big lumps. But that I think looks absolutely lovely. Hope you agree. Let me bring it up a bit so you can see it in more sort of detail, and you see those little splats and things on there, and I think that that makes a really pretty Christmas card. So I'm going to leave it like that. I am going to put it onto a back, and I don't know quite what colour I'm going to choose, but I'll choose something that looks really nice on there. But as always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.